After what illness did your life change dramatically? I had testicular cancer almost 8 years ago. Leading up to it, we were super strict with our budget, trying to pay off all debt and rack up savings for the future. If we did anything fun, it had to be cheap. My wife was super insistent on retiring early and not having to worry about money at all. After, she loosened up a lot. We started to go on vacations, learn new hobby skills, and buy things that make us happy. We still save and pay down debts, only a little slower. It's not our primary focus. My getting cancer at 32 years old made her realize that while saving for the future is good, it means nothing if you die before you enjoy anything. And dying early is a real possibility for any of us. Now we do what we can to enjoy life while saving for the future. Sure, we might not retire at 55 and live a life of luxury, but we can still retire in the future while living life now. Ulcerative colitis. Similar to morbus Crohn's, my colon is always inflamed and bleeding with lots of diarrhea. The worst of it are the side symptoms. My joints hurt, I'm dizzy due to blood loss, and I can't eat many things. Plus the fact it's invisible. Many people don't understand that my health status can shift within hours. Cancer. I survived, but for me, once I walked through that door, there was no going back. I felt like I'd been transported to a parallel dimension that I didn't quite connect with. Multiple sclerosis. I was diagnosed 2 years ago. My symptoms aren't the worst right now, but that could change at any point in time. I could have a relapse which could severely impact me both physically and mentally. It's an unpredictable disease and it's scary. Terminal cancer has been pretty life-changing. It was just stage 3 cancer until surgery and it metastasized. This was in 2223. I'm now fighting for my life and just hoping to get a few good years. I quit work recently. It just didn't matter, and I was carrying a lot of stress from the job I didn't realize. I couldn't be happier. I value personal time with people more. My days are quite simple while recovering from chemo treatments, but I find joy in it. I've started journaling. I've learned to make a pretty damn good espresso at home. I read more. I enjoy just sitting outside more. I'm busy taking life in instead of being ruled by all the crap I have to do. I'm young. Live your life now, you never know when bad things will find you. Endometriosis and subsequent adenomyosis. It has taken so much of my life from me and made it impossible to live normally. The daily pain is one thing, but the depression that accompanies from not being able to do what a normal person should can be worse. Was diagnosed with MS in January. I had been noticing things since 2021, but this latest relapse really took a toll, and I'm very aware life will never be what it was before. Diabetic in America here. That puts me on a nice list to be able to freely be extorted each month to stay alive. It's great. I lost my house in my early 30s, pay $385 a month for insurance, and have to hit a $4,500 deductible before insurance companies feel the need to help towards prescriptions. It's great being available for extortion so billionaire companies can help their shareholders. Sarcasm included. Heart attack, hard to say. Completely changed diet. Lost 25 pounds. Had stents installed. Depression. ITP, immune thrombocytopenia. Blood draw once a week. Flare-ups that leave me unable to work for months at a time due to severe reaction from meds and unstable counts. Think vomiting and going blind as the pressure in your head is too great for IVIG. For steroids of 60 mg of dexamethasone for weeks and then tapering down leads to not sleeping for days, panic attacks, full body acne, unable to regulate emotions. Failed the surgery, so now I'm missing my spleen as I had 2 for some reason. They thought I grew a 3rd, but I hadn't. End up hospitalized about once a year and out of work for about 2 months twice a year. Oh, and I don't qualify for disability. They need me to have a stroke first. Fuck this. Fuck all of this. After a bad case of mono, suddenly naps became my new best friend. In 2017 had a bout with a cytomegalovirus, not sure which one, which gives most people mono. Most people get it when they are kids, and as kids it's a walk in the park. Most of everyone show no symptoms. But as an adult in my case it gave me meningitis, and because of it, and my health has never been the same after. It also attacked my liver, looked green for some 2 weeks, it was freaky, and infected a lymph node in my neck that still hurts to this day. It feels like at random times someone presses really hard with a pen tip in the back of my neck. It's not sharp like a needle, or debilitating. It is distracting though. Then it goes away. It was 45 straight days in bed managing high fevers, think human shapes, sweat stains on the bed covers. Lost 16 pounds of lean mass. When I went back to work I could feel the bones on my ass straight against any chair I sat in. People were shocked at how much weight I lost. It took me 2 years to be able to do any real physical exercise. I tried it first some 6 months after and I almost blacked out on the treadmill doing light jogging. Myalgic encephalomyelitis. My life will never be the same again. Type 2 diabetes. About 3 years ago. Wondered why I was so thirsty and peeing all the time, but convinced myself I was peeing a lot because I was drinking so much water. Made sense in my mind. Fast forward to taking blood sugar with a family member's monitor. 550 after dinner. Took the machine home with me and fasted. High 300s after fasting for 12 hours. Low 300s after 24 hours no food or drink. Finally went to urgent care who basically said, yeah bro, you need to go to the ER. So there I went. 30 units of insulin later, 3 separate shots of 10 units, and I still wasn't under mid to high 200s. All they wanted was me sub 200 to go home. At this point I haven't eaten in close to 36-ish hours. Finally got me under control and sent home. Now am on metformin and controlled. Started exercising jiu-jitsu, eating better, dropped 60-70 pounds and kept it off. My diet still isn't the best, but am lucky to see over 150-ish for my sugar levels. When I was first diagnosed, my A1C was a bit over 13. My last test was under 6. Am doing good. Oh, and the scariest part? When my sugar was over 500 I felt perfectly fine aside from being thirsty. No shakes, no blurred vision, nothing like that. I was perfectly coherent and normal. Early onset Alzheimer's disease. Mosquitoes are a huge problem in India, especially with the heat. In 2019, I got dengue fever from a mosquito bite. First time wasn't too bad, just weak for a few weeks. Most people recover in a month. Then in 2021, I got dengue again. Apparently, it's way worse the second time. I ended up in the ICU for 4 days with bad dengue shock and liver problems. It got really close, but thanks to my body and the doctors I'm okay now. My lungs are a bit weak though, so I gotta take it easy and eat plain food. All because of one mosquito. Derealization, depersonalization, and the fact more people don't know about it blows my mind. I still find it really hard to even type about, let alone talk about. Having an out-of-body experience for 3.5 years and being numb to all emotion feelings is something I am so proud of conquering. There's times you think you'll never escape it. Some people don't survive it, and I couldn't think of a worse punishment for someone. I had to raise my first child through it, and it will always bother me I wasn't my best self raising them in the first years of their life. I've also lost long close best friends because they couldn't understand what I was going through. I hope anyone that suffers from it escapes it one day. Hodgkin's lymphoma stage 2 remission since 25. I got diagnosed with anorexia a few years ago, and my life really doesn't bear any resemblance to what and who I was before. I'm classed as an active recovery now, but my daily life is somewhat of a struggle. It's something that's taken a lot of adjusting to. Some days I feel really cross, sad, exhausted and hard done by. But then I remember that I'm still here to tell the tale and I'm grateful for that. Living is a privilege that many don't experience, especially some of the poor people who didn't make it out of the clinic.